Hello, Patriots. Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show. We are here tonight. We're live. We're going to talk about and discuss the election or the elections yesterday, which was not very good for the Republicans. New York City, Mamdani has won. The socialist, communist, terrorist supporting politician has become the mayor of New York City. We projected that on this show for months. New York City has just gone off the rockers for a couple of reasons. One, all of the sane people, most of the sane people, I have a massive following in New York City. I'm from there. But people like me, your God-fearing, American-loving, true blood-flowing Americans and patriots have left. They've gone to Florida. They've gone to Louisiana. They've gone to Georgia. They have left the state of New York because New York has just become so insanely out of control. I think I'm down here in Florida, and every other day I see another New Yorker. I actually ran into two guys from California today who had abandoned California for Florida for the same reasons that we have. So that leaves the people who support and are okay with the policies behind, right? So they typically vote left. That's one reason. The second reason is New York City is a sanctuary city. So all of these millions of illegals that have flooded through the country have now been relocated to New York, and they're voting for the people who helped them and allowed them to get in and give them benefits and all of that stuff. So New York is no surprise. Virginia has flipped from Republican governor to a Democrat governor. I got to talk to my friend Matt Spear. I'm sure he's not happy about that. And there's been a bunch of other changes. So was this like a wide sweeping blue wave? I wouldn't go that far. Is it a sign of what's going on with the voting public and their opinion of the Trump administration? The answer to that, in short, is yes. But it's not detrimental or catastrophic. But we do have the midterms to contend with. I have said this almost nightly on this show. Just because we got Donald Trump elected and we supported Donald Trump and we fought tooth and nail for him to get in there and we got all the people we wanted, you cannot stop. This fight is not a one and done. This fight is not a scenario where you get Trump in office and then you forget. We still need the Congress. We still need the Senate. And you, as the individual American, you need your local elections to take precedent over any national election. Your local elections affect you personally. You need to be involved with your school board, even if you don't have kids. You need to be involved in your city council meetings. What's going on there? What are we doing? What are we discussing this week? What is on the agenda? What are you trying to do with property taxes? Why are you adding this? What is the budget going to be for police and firemen this year? These are things you need to be involved in. If you're deep enough involved in this show to listen and study national politics, you need to be listening and study your local politics, because the average American is not a far-left lunatic. And if they focused on their local elections, it would have a dramatic effect on the national elections, because the policies would start changing back at the lowest level. And everybody would see how they work and how they're effective. And then it would grow and domino and explode into the national spotlight. So that's where your focus needs to be. I always say that the fight is not over. How many Republicans in Virginia didn't go out and vote yesterday? How many didn't go out and vote? How many thought, oh, yeah, the Republicans got it, man. The Republicans had this massive sweep in 2024. I don't need to go out and vote. That's how you lose. That's precisely and exactly how the Republican Party loses their power, or the Democrat Party. Because the 2024 election was not just that everybody was pro-Trump. It was people on the Democrat side who were like, we're just not going to go out and vote. We're not going to go out and vote. I'm not a huge fan of Kamala Harris, so I'm just going to sit this one out. Don't go anywhere. We got a great show. I got clips. We're going to go over them. I got my sparkling water ready to go. Don't forget to go to ryanfsamuels.com/shop and check out the merchandise. We've had a lot of people on the website recently checking out the stuff. Make sure you add it to your cart and buy it. Use promo code Samuels. Hit that like button right now. Hit that share button right now. Hit that download button right now on the podcast. We will be right back in 47 seconds.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Harsh to NC. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics. Follow on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Here is your host, Ryan Samuels.
All right, first off, we have some celebrations, okay? This is Mehdi Hassan. He's on CNN. He's a left-wing Hamas supporter and super anti-Israel. This is him celebrating this election. We knew that this was going to be the outcome. I knew that this was going to be the outcome. It was incredibly unlikely that Cuomo was going to win. I had called for Curtis Sliwell to pull out weeks ago, and he never did. Not that it would have had any effect. Once you win the Democratic primary in New York City, you won the election. That's just how it goes. So Mamdani was going to win. Let's listen to this.
The billionaires spent a ton of money to stop Zoran Mamdani. And tonight is not just a defeat for Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa. It's a defeat for Bill Ackman. It's a defeat for Reed Hastings. It's a defeat for Michael Bloomberg. It's a defeat for James Murdoch. It's a defeat for the Home Depot guy. It's a defeat for the Walmart woman. It's a defeat for Airbnb. It's a defeat for DoorDash. It's a defeat for all the billionaires who put all that money down, and the 34-year-old socialist beat them all. I don't know how Andrew and...
I mean, they're calling him a socialist because he is a socialist. And socialism is no longer a dirty word in the Democrat Party. It's actually a renowned word. I mean, he said it, the 34-year-old socialist. Let's listen again.
All that money down, and the 34-year-old socialist beat them all. I don't know how Andrew and Chris Cuomo are feeling tonight. Let's put up another graphic that we have about how much money the billionaires spent. You can see how much money Michael Bloomberg and the Estee Lauder family and Bill Ackman were spending in this race to try and stop Zoran Mamdani, and it didn't work. I would say this, by the way. Do you remember how many times they all mispronounced his name?
Oh my God.
I just listened to Tish James. Tish James mispronounced his name as well. But when she does it, it's sweet.
Honest mistake.
Honest mistake. When Cuomo does it, it's deliberate. When Elon Musk called him Mum-Doomy today, he tweeted Mum-Doomy. Elon Musk called him Mum-Doomy. The Caroline Levitt called him Zamdani. Cuomo called him Mandami. Well, guys, you're going to have to learn his fucking name now.
Mamdani.
Zoran Kwame Mamdani. That's the name of the next mayor of New York City.
Sad day for New York. Sad day for New York. We're going to see the policies and we're going to follow them as they unfold. Sometimes people say a lot of things to get elected and then they never do anything. Hey, Tom, welcome on, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. Kat is watching as always. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate all of the support. But we're going to continue to follow and see how the policy goes. Here is Adam Kinzinger calling this a blowout. I'm not sure it's a blowout. It's definitely not good. It's not good, but I don't think it's a blowout, and I'll explain why in a second.
Hey, guys. It was a blowout. It was a blue blowout. And if I was still a card-carrying hardcore Republican, I would be very worried about 2026. But as a no Kings guy, I'm pretty happy. Hey, guys.
It wasn't a blowout. You won some elections. And it's okay. The Democrats are going to win elections sometimes. I mean, I don't know what to say. But we need to focus and we need to regroup, and Donald Trump needs to take a step back. The problem, and I've said this before, I've said it a million times, is Donald Trump doesn't have a political philosophy. He doesn't. I think he does what he thinks is right and what he thinks is best for the country. That's what I think that he does. Here is Donald Trump on talking. I think this is him talking about the Mamdani win. Let's listen to this.
On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We rescued our economy, regained our liberty, and together we saved our country. On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry.
He's saying they're going to take care of it. I don't know what he means by saying that they're going to take care of it. I would imagine he's going to do what he's done in other cities if they're not handling the crime, that New York, we're going to send in federal troops that are going to handle the crime. Here is Mamdani himself in his victory speech. And it's interesting in this because he lists a bunch of countries where immigrants come from in this speech. And here are the following countries: Yemen, Mexico, Senegal, Uzbekistan, Trinidad, Tobago, Ethiopia. He mentions everything except for America. For the country's largest city, he doesn't mention America.
I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
What about Americans? What about the millions of Americans inside of New York City? They don't matter. Not to Mamdani. Here is the official video released by Zohran Mamdani. This was released today, this morning, about 9 hours ago, discussing his win. Let's watch this.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda.
Couple of things to take note of. A government doesn't make things affordable. The only thing a government does is make things more expensive. But you add more government, the prices go up. You lower the government, the prices go down. Right? No government in the history of the world has ever made anything more affordable or more efficient. Where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign. Campaign promises include like discriminating against white people when it comes to rent. Free buses for everybody in the city. Who's gonna pay for that? Higher taxes on billionaires. All of these people are gonna leave. Like all these companies that are based in New York City are gonna leave.
City Hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments will be driven by excellence, integrity, and a hunger to solve old problems with new solutions. Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran and the City Hall to come, defined by transparency. Because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
More money. Send donations. But the campaign's over and you won. So what are you going to do with all that money? What are you going to do with all that money? Here is more Mamdani in his victory speech.
I think he missed an opportunity.
Oh, this is Van Jones discussing his victory speech.
I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt...
Of course not, because you're seeing the real Mamdani now.
Like it was a little bit...
The hate-filled, terrorist-supporting socialist communist.
Of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight, and there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young, and he just pulled off something that's very, very difficult. And I wouldn't write him off, but I think he missed an opportunity to open himself up tonight, and I think that will probably cost him going forward.
I think you're going to see a lot, and I think it's going to be hard to do anything with how off the rails New York has become. Here is another part of Mamdani's speech where this post says, I'm a young despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist. He's literally calling himself a socialist. And everybody's okay with that. Democratic socialism is socialism. I mean, you can polish a turd, but it's still a piece of shit. And that's all democratic socialism is.
After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim. I am a democratic socialist.
You hear the cheering?
And And most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this. After all,
he's just throwing it in everybody's face. He's just throwing it in everybody's face, and they're happy about it. The New Yorkers are happy about it. But this now it becomes mainstream, right? So now we have a real, true blue democratic socialist who's infiltrated not just a political office, but the biggest political office in the country as far as being a mayor goes. Here is Mike Johnson on the Mamdani.
Happened in New York City last night. For the first time in American history, an avowed, openly proclaimed socialist has been elected as the mayor of America's largest city. Zoran Mandami is without a doubt the biggest win for socialism in the history of the country, and it is the biggest loss for the American people. He is truly a committed Marxist. And the results of that race tell you everything you need to know about where the Democrats and their party are headed. Happened in New York City last night. For the first time in America.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And the followers are just nuts. The followers are nuts. Let's see. I haven't seen this clip yet. Let's watch this one. Or let's listen to it if you're on the podcast.
The socialist and anti-communism didn't work to stop him. That's big.
Yeah, I think we are in the heart of the imperial core. This is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately. And the reality of the matter is, there's a lot of antagonism. There's no class consciousness in the United States of America. It's one of the things that I try to...
Hold the friggin' phone here. Back up. Back up.
Done.
What do you think it means that this guy ran as a socialist and anti-communism didn't work to stop him? That's big.
Yeah, I think we are in the heart of the imperial core. This is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately.
This is the country that defeated the USSR, unfortunately. That's what these people believe. Is that the United States of America was wrong in defeating the Soviet Union. That's what was just elected to be the mayor of New York City.
And the reality of the matter is, there's a lot of antagonism. There's no class consciousness in the United States of America. It's one of the things that I try to address every day with my commentary. And I will say this, the conditions have deteriorated so much that everyday Americans, in spite of their lack of class consciousness, are finally arriving at the conclusion that perhaps there is an alternative out there. There is an alternative that focuses on them as opposed to the interests of the billionaires and the millionaires, as opposed to the interests of the capital owners. And I mean, you can't help but notice that. You can't help but feel at least a little bit of excitement around that.
These people are out of their minds. This is Hassan Piker. I guess he is a political commentator. This is, I mean, guys, this is literally everything that Ronald Reagan was talking about, the infiltration of communism, Senator Joe McCarthy. Like this, all of that stuff was real. That they tried to turn into, oh, it's a conspiracy. Oh, it's not. It was real. Like Senator Joe McCarthy actually found communists in our government. And now they're here. And this is the Islamic part of this is also very concerning because Sharia law is something that they strive for, that they live for. Here is a leader of the Muslim Brotherhood talking about how they're going to infiltrate the United States of America and it's politicians and impose Sharia law. Listen.
Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword. Now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements. Ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballot.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants...
So they literally are tired of getting completely and utterly decimated by the United States military that they're now going to resort to diplomacy and voting. Tom says, who financed Mamdani's campaign? It's coming up next in the next video. I'll break that down. Kat said, New York City, grab the hot stove. No cry, New York, when no one bails you out. Yeah, I agree. Let New York end themselves.
The Sharia.
Because in the United States, what we do know is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
So the Muslim Brotherhood and terrorist organizations are openly saying that they are in a jihad, and their jihad is no longer with bullets, but their jihad is with voting and infiltrating the American government. This is Linda Sarsour, and she admits that Mamdani's rise in New York was secretly bankrolled by jihad-linked groups. I'm not surprised, like, at all.
Right now, I'm a little more quiet because I'm on the quiet side of this race, but I'm going to tell you that once November 4th comes around, I will tell the story. The story is not just, that it's random that Zahran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zahran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zahran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zahran PAC in New York.
So he's basically funded by Islamic extremists, right? I mean, it's concerning. It's extremely concerning. And here's a man who fled communism, giving a very stern warning to these idiots who just elected Mamdani. Let's watch this.
Are you the one that was in the car right there?
Yes.
You pulled
I'm
over to
watching
say
you
hi.
for the past 3 days. So many times. It's amazing. I'm from communism.
Okay.
Okay? This is crazy. Like, seriously. I don't know what they want to resist. I have no clue.
I can't get in.
Yeah, sure. Of course. I've been to communism, all of that stuff, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Where are you from?
Hungary.
Oh, wow.
So back in the days, it was it was actually communist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it sucked. So I don't understand those people in this country who actually are saying.
What do you think about Mamdani about to win and be the mayor of New York, a proud
God
communist?
bless New York.
Yeah, that's why we're here in Florida,
listen,
right?
I live behind the Iron Curtain. Making things like that to want socialism and want communism is one of the dumbest thing anybody can say in this country. And I would literally make it as a college requirement that you have to go for 3 months as a volunteer to a third world country to actually notice how good you have it.
Yeah.
because that's the only solution. Because what's going on in colleges, it's ridiculous. They don't really understand anything whatsoever.
How do you think we got to the point where a communist, proud, out there communist, is about to become the mayor of the largest city in our country?
We made it happen. Us. We wanted better for the children. So we let them do whatever they want, and you simply did not educate them. I mean, I have a friend of mine who has no idea what Auschwitz is. 42 years old.
Really?
Explain that to me. How can you possibly go through life of 42 years of not knowing what that is? That's the scariest thing I have ever seen in my life. Yeah. Nothing more scarier than that one. I don't even know how is that possible.
Yeah, I honestly am speechless. I don't know how that's possible. That's
Seriously.
insane.
And
yeah.
that actually happens.
Yeah.
And that's education. There is no education. It's like, you know, everything is shielded, everything is stopped. We're not gonna piss off anybody whatsoever. And it's crazy as far as I'm concerned. And it's either party, it doesn't really matter which one it is. Because the Republican Party is just as, you know, culprit on this one than anybody else. You know what I mean? It's just, it's absolutely crazy.
Well, thank you for pulling over and saying
Honest to
hi.
God,
I
seriously,
appreciate it. Seriously, I'll give you a little
I
hug.
had to. I absolutely had to.
There's a reason why people flee communism to come to the United States of America. There's a reason that half of the world comes here. And Ronald Reagan said it best. Like, this is the last place to escape to. If you lose America, the world loses its safe place, its safe haven. Here is Scott Jennings on CNN getting to rub it in a little bit to the panel here about Mamdani.
Oh, are you saying he wasn't the unifying voice of a generation that you predicted mere moments ago? Axe, where was the man that you predicted would not slice and dice the? Look, guys, he started his speech by quoting Eugene Debs, who ran for president of the United States 5 times as the Socialist Party of America candidate. He repeatedly attacked people in this. No, I know my socialists. I keep a close eye on them. I work here. So here's the thing. He went after everybody that he thinks is a problem. People who own things, people who have businesses. He said an interesting quote: "No problem too large for government to solve."
Or too small, important.
And so when you think of the world that way, that every problem, no matter how small or how large, is something for government to do, let me just decipher this for you. Tax increases as far as the eye can see, which means the people who need to provide jobs to the young people that you say need jobs are going to flee as quickly as they possibly can. I think this was a divisive speech, and he clearly sees the world in terms of the people who are oppressing you and the oppressed, and he said the oppressed are now in City Hall.
Government is already involved in just about every aspect of American life in New York City. I grew up there, man. I grew up Long Island. It's like an offshoot of New York City, and it was bad there. But New York City's 10 times worse than Long Island. Here is Svi Yeheskelida. He's talking about how he's been covering jihadists for 30 years as a reporter, and that the people of New York City are going to regret it.
Good morning to all the New Yorkers, and good luck with your new mayor. My name is Tzvi Haskeli, and I warned before years ago that the quiet jihad, the political Islam, going to conquer all over the world, especially in the West, and now it's happened in New York. Less than 3 decades after the 9/11, when the aircraft hits the Twin Towers, now the mayor of New York is a Muslim. What happened? This is the way of the quiet jihad of Qatar, of Turkey, of the Muslim Brotherhood. They investing in the public, in the street, in the social media, with the Palestinian flag in Columbia University. They supporting the Palestinians, but the real power is to establish the Islam in the United States. Look what happened in Dearborn. Look what's going to be in Virginia, and what's happened already in London and in Germany. Now you can see the weakness of democracy. This is your democracy. Even the Jews that elected anti-Semitic mayor that he hates the IDF soldiers. He's not a Zionist, and he said that he's a communist. It's called in the Islam taqiyya. He's hiding behind the headlines of I'm a communist, not a communist and nothing. This is the Muslim Brotherhood. This is a quiet jihad. And remember this.
I believe it. I freaking believe it. I really and truly believe it. So we got jihadist groups attempting to infiltrate American society politically, not sleeper cells, but to take over the whole society and destroy the government, to do propaganda campaigns and use that propaganda to push their radical Islamic agenda. Here is Donald Trump on, I believe, Brett Baer.
I want to touch about New York City real quick. You're a New Yorker. You famously kind of had a fight with Ed Koch back in the 70s and 80s as he was a mayor. He obviously wasn't a democratic socialist, as you call the mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani a communist. But is there any part of you that looks at Mamdani and says, it is good for you politically to have a big foil there that you're going to talk about for the next 3 years?
You know, I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well because I love New York. I really love New York. When I left New York for Washington, New York was doing really well, but there were some bad signs. The bad sign was a guy named de Blasio. So the signs of de Blasio, that was the beginning, and it was bad. This one, we're going to, look, for 1,000 years, communism has not worked. Communism or the concept of communism has not worked. I tend to doubt it's going to work this time.
Did you see his victory speech?
It's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech, certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
At one point he says, turn the volume up.
So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
How do you respond to that? Does that affect anything you're going to do?
It's a very dangerous statement for him to make, actually. And, you know, you talk about danger. I think it's a very dangerous statement for him to make. He has to be a little bit respectful of Washington, because if he's not, he doesn't have a chance of succeeding. And I want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed. I don't want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed, and we'll see what happens.
Did you see reaching out to him?
I would say he should reach out to us, really. I think he should reach out. I'm here. We'll see what happens, but I would think that it would be more appropriate for him to reach out to us.
So speaking of reaching out, is there a deal that can be made to end this government?
Not very smart, Mamdani, to shit on the people that need to give you federal funding to approve certain things that you wish to do. You should not be crapping on the hand that feeds you. You really shouldn't be. It's stupid. And hold on. I'm trying to pull up this video. And I lost it. Here it is. Okay. So these are just these people that are voting for him because they're idiots. And they don't know what Sharia law is. But here's what they have to say, that now that Mamdani is elected, they want Sharia law.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh.
Celebrating another death of your political opponents. Awesome, Democrats. Awesome. And I'm no fan of Dick Cheney.
I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
Sharia law.
Sharia law, Islamic Caliphate starts now. That's what they want. It's literally what they want. It's pretty dumbfounding. Here is Mamdani threatening ICE agents. This is very low, so I'm going to try to... They're asking about things he's going to do about ICE agents in New York City. Hopefully when he speaks, we can hear it.
My message to ICE agents and to everyone across this city is that everyone will be held to the same standard of the law. If you violate the law, you must be held accountable. And there is sadly a sense that is growing across this country that certain people are allowed to violate that law, whether they be the president or whether they be the agents themselves. And
The president.
what New Yorkers are looking for is an era of consistency, an era of clarity, an era of conviction. And that is what we will deliver to them. And I am looking forward to having conversations with Mayor Adams and his administration about the work of the transition to ensure that the handover is a seamless one and that it is one that benefits the shared work we all have to deliver for the people who call the city home.
So he said essentially that he will arrest ICE agents. That's what he said. Federal officers that are imposing federal law on the by arresting immigrants. That he's going to arrest them. Here's Mamdani doing "My Heart Goes Out to You," and everybody calling it a Nazi salute.
This city belongs to you. Thank you.
One Nazi salute, two Nazi salutes. And they're playing Arabic music. Jesus. Oh, Lord, protect New York City. From 9/11 to this. What the heck happened to this country? That's mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. It's like we're in a parallel universe. That's how I feel. That we're in a parallel universe. Here is Charlie Kirk back in July, breaking down Mamdani. Let's listen to him.
So right now there is a viral clip of Zohran Mamdani giving an interview while he's doing something that, quite honestly, is very disgusting, yet calculated. He's doing it for a reason, but also just kinds of show what he is pointing towards. I have many thoughts on this. And whether it's orchestrated or not, first we just need to make a comment that we in the West value cleanliness. We have utensils, and we teach our kids to use utensils. They say, well, what about burgers and pizza? Yeah, that food is designed that way. Rice, since we have utensils, you don't eat it because we're not in the third world with your hands. This is Zohran Mamdani eating disgustingly, talking about the struggle of Palestine. It's so contrived. Play cut 251.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle.
So he's not even eating with his hands correctly. People that have grown up in the third world, they say he's not even doing it right. He's just faking it. He's doing this to signal his third world cred. So think about it. To get credibility in the New York mayor's race, you have to pretend to be in the third world. Now understand that in the modern world, authenticity is considered to be the most important thing ever. But should it be? Now, authenticity, if you're pointing towards something good and virtuous, is beautiful. You're authentically trying to be the best version of yourself, to be honest. If you're pointing towards a moral and transcendent ideal. But Zohran Mamdani is not authentically trying to point New York or aim towards a better city. He's trying to bring New York into the gutter. And authenticity without virtue is just narcissism in disguise. Let me say that again. Authenticity without virtue is just narcissism in disguise. People say, well, he's just being himself. He's so authentic. Okay, if a third worlder comes and starts defecating on the side of the street in Times Square, are we going to say, boy, he's being his true and authentic self. He's really being wonderful. No, we have standards in the West. In fact, when I'm raising my daughter and I try to teach her table manners, I don't say, just be your authentic self, honey. Keep on interrupting us. Use your hands when you eat macaroni and cheese. No, in fact, my wife and I, Erica, we go through methodical lessons of here's a spoon, here's how to use it, because we want to elevate the human being above our natural, broken, fleshly state. 500 million people in India defecate on the side of the street. That's bad. We don't do that in the West because we try to value cleanliness, order, and yes, actually things that aren't filled with filth. Now, Zohran Mamdani, he's faking this entire thing, obviously. He's trying to be authentically third world when he himself is not even authentically third world. So the whole thing is just so bizarre. And even more telling, like, why would you fake being in the third world? Because that gets you brownie points because people say, oh, he is an embodiment of the struggle against Western civilization.
And he scores brownie points like we've always talked about. There's a point system on the left where if you're crippled, oh, that's a point. Oh, you're black. Oh, that's a point. Oh, you're homosexual. Oh, that's a point. Oh, you're transgender. Oh, that's 8 points. So they look for people and they make them perpetual victims, and they look for social statuses based on race and sexuality in the left. So that's basically what he is saying.
And people say, I like Mamdani because he's authentic. But authentic to what? And what is he aiming towards? He's aiming towards a devolution. It's bad either way. By the way, if he eats with his rice with his hands, whether he means it or not, he's either authentically gross or he's being a fake, disgusting person. And in some of the comments of a TikTok video I made, people said, but Charlie, who are you to judge other cultures? No. That's the point. We in Western culture believe that our way of life is the best. We're better than Mohammedanism. We don't do female genital mutilation. Well, I guess the trans people do, but we don't do female genital mutilation. We in the West don't have child marriages. We don't believe in honor killings. We don't believe in polygamy.
Correct.
We believe in American exceptionalism. We believe our culture is better. You see, in the modern world, happiness is the goal, feelings are the guide, judgment is the ultimate sin, and God is the ultimate guest. And let me say that again, judgment is the ultimate sin. You're not allowed to judge others. Guess what? I'm going to judge you if you eat rice with your hands. That's bad. That's wrong. Assimilation is a necessity, not a suggestion. And guess what? We don't believe in resentment-based confiscation of other people's stuff. The third world loves that. We say no. We say, no, you're not going to all of a sudden have city-run grocery stores like they do in Cuba or Venezuela. No, you're not going to send social...
But that's what Mamdani's doing. That's exactly what Mamdani is doing. He wants city-run grocery stores.
Workers where police should be going. And no, you're not going to go take other people's stuff, because here in the first world, in America's wealthiest city and largest city, we know how to create wealth. In the third world, they haven't figured it out. Go to South Africa. Go to Southeast Asia. Go to most of sub-Saharan Africa. Go to most of the rest of the world. They haven't quite figured it out. We know how to create wealth. In fact, that is the question that perplexes most of humanity. Anyone can take. Anyone can destroy. Few can build. Few can take risks. Few can build skyscrapers. Few can build trillion-dollar companies. It takes no skill or talent for Zohran Mamdani to do what he's doing. And the embodiment of him eating rice with his hands is the perfect physical manifestation of him trying to throw New York City into the third world gutter. And we must resist it.
Yeah, but New York's not going to resist him, Charlie. I love you, brother. Rest in peace, man. I'm glad I found that clip. But... it's just the first step. And it's, again, we're not out of the woods, man. We haven't been out of the woods. I said that the night of the election. I was on the Don't Unfriend Me show. I said, we are not out of the woods. We won the Electoral College. We won the popular vote, and it was a mandate from the American people that we completely and utterly and totally reject the Democratic Party. But anything you do is going to be controversial. When you raise tariffs that inadvertently raise prices, that will have a long-term benefit, but a short-term hardship, the Democrats are going to capitalize on that. When you send American troops in to U.S. cities for them to commit violence on its own citizens, whether justified or not, they're going to show videos of that violence, and they're going to use it to their advantage and call you a tyrant and a dictator and say, look, this is everything we did. This is everything we warned you about. He's never leaving the White House because he's building this ballroom. When 42 million Americans are losing their SNAP benefits because the Democrats are keeping the government shut down, people get upset. That's what happens. So you, as Republicans and as voters, cannot sleep on it. You can't sit home and say, oh, well, we had this landslide in November of last year, and Donald Trump is the president, and we got nothing to worry about. It's all good. Yes. No. Worry. You should worry. You have to worry. You cannot not worry. No matter how safe you think you are, you're not. Above all of the seats that the Democrats won yesterday, they won something even more important, and that's momentum. They won momentum to push forward. All of their podcasters are out there. All of their news are doing little clips and pushing it out and saying, the gubernatorial, we flipped Virginia, and New York City is now our far left extreme core base of what it should be. That's what they're doing. And it's going to hurt the Republicans. And the biggest thing that we need to do is win these midterms. We need a shellacking in these midterms. We need such an overwhelming, powerful supermajority in the Congress and the Senate that has never been achieved before if we want to get done what we need to get done. That is the next step in this process. The election of Donald Trump was not the end of it. It was the beginning. And that's what you need to remember. So get off your ass, get out there, go fight, and go vote. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Visit RyanFSamuels.com/shop. Check out these cool shirts like Vance, the Semper Fi Mother Effer shirt for all my Marines out there. We got our 250th anniversary coming up. It's going to be a great thing, and we're going to celebrate that pretty roughly. So follow the show, download it on the podcast. For everybody that watches live, make sure first thing in the morning you get on Apple or Spotify or whatever podcast platform you listen to and download it. That's how we get measured every day. We have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of downloads weekly from everywhere in the world. Spain is creeping up on Germany for a close second. Again, thank you. God bless you. God bless our troops. And God bless the United States of America. Good night.
Thanks for tuning in to The Ryan Samuels Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.